Welcome to the following presentation of the Hall of Fame Network. Welcome to the following presentation of the Hall of Fame Network. Welcome to the following presentation of the Hall of Fame Network.
How you doing? Good to see you. Ready? Ready? Okay. Another minute. Russ, ready? No, I'm gonna move it out. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this press conference for the National High School Football Hall of Fame Class of 2026 reveal. My name is Kenny Rhoda. I'm your MC today. Great to have you all out here, and coming up a little bit later on, we're going to reveal the fourth class. That's right, the fourth class that will be headed to the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Before we get started, we have some people we want to thank. None of this would be possible without the founder of the National High School Football Hall of Fame. He's here. Good to see him. And how about a nice round of applause for Lamont Showboat Robinson? Lamont, thank you. Good to see you. And also his right-hand man, the COO of the National High School Football Hall of Fame. I work closely with him, and he wears many, many hats. Russell Johnson is here. He deserves a nice round of applause as well. We also want to thank the Ohio Media School, the Tuscarawas County Browns backers. David Brown is here. He is the vice president of the National High School Football Hall of Fame. So, David, great to see you. Ray Freeman from the 23 couldn't be here today, but he's home watching. So, Ray, good to see you. And Bernie Kosar, who's normally with us, obviously can't be here. We'll find out more about that when Dave Jingo speaks. But Bernie's watching at home as well. So, Bernie, get well, my friend. Let's get this started today. I'm excited to bring up our first speaker, as we will have a number of speakers here this morning. And let's get it all rolling with the mayor of Brook Park, Ed Orcutt. was here. All right, while we wait for Ed, our other speakers today, we're going to have Dave Jingo, the Vice President of Ops for the National High School Football Hall of Fame. RJ Van Ullman will join us today as well. He's the treasurer, so we'll hear from him. And we're going to hear from a couple of class members from the 2026 class. So we will check in with those gentlemen a little bit later on. And now let's bring up the mayor of Brook Park, Ed Orcutt, to address the media here today, talking about the National High School Football Hall of Fame coming to Brook Park.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the great city of Brook Park. Obviously, you know that today is a very exciting day for us as we get prepared for July 11th, 2026, where we will be hosting our very first high school football Hall of Fame ceremony here in the great city. That will happen on a Saturday between 1 and 3 p.m. And today we're excited to be able to have the announcement of those nominees that have been selected to this year's class. So with all of that said, we know that Brook Park has been in the news quite a bit with the exciting news of the new Cleveland Browns football stadium. And I know that at times it seems like it was a little bit hard for people to understand for that change, but change is coming. We're going to have a year-round facility here in the state of Ohio, the very first dome stadium, and we're excited for that for so many reasons. We're going to be able to attract more events here. We're especially looking forward to being able to host, NCAA bowl games here, which is going to attract more and more people. And as we become a new city for the NFL and we are able to start hosting more and more events for this great sport, we're also working with a great organization with the National High School Football Hall of Fame to be able to put brick and mortar in place and really keep that theme in the state of Ohio where the very first NFL game was played. And that's what we are in Ohio. We are football. And we're excited today to be able to hear the announcement of all of our nominees. Lamont Robinson, I would like to thank you and welcome you here to the great city of Brook Park. And at this time, I'm very excited to bring Kenny Rhoda back up to the microphone.
Mayor, great job. Good to see you. Thanks for everything. Thank you, Mayor. All right, some more of our speakers are set to address you all here today, and thank you all for coming out once again. So let's bring up the Vice President of Operations for the National High School Football Hall of Fame, David Jingo.
Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Yes, my name is Dave Jingo. I am the Vice President of Operations for the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Thank you, Mayor, and the City of Brook Park for hosting this event today. We're excited to have our event next summer in our new hometown. Before we announce the 2026 inductees, I want to say a few words about a couple colleagues of ours. Our team here at the National High School Football Hall of Fame believes that high school football can teach young student athletes so many lessons about life, how to work as a team, how to trust others, how to weather adversity, how to get up when you get knocked down, how perseverance, dedication, consistency, selflessness can lead to triumph. Our friend Bernie Kosar is drawing upon these teachings in his fight to regain his health. His video posts demonstrate a humility and empathy for others that should inspire everyone. Get well, brother. We miss you. Hope to see you soon. Also, our friend Ray Freeman is battling through some health issues. Ray, we stand behind you, and we hope to see you soon as well. Get well again, brother. So before I turn the mic over to the next speaker, I want you to know that in the very near future, we will be making a game-changing announcement regarding the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. So with that, let me introduce our next speaker, our treasurer, Mr. R.J. Van Allman.
It is an honor to stand in front of you today in Brook Park, Ohio, as we celebrate a milestone, the announcement of the National High School Football Hall of Fame class of 2026. Today isn't just about recognizing achievement, it's about acknowledging the passion, grit, and dedication that defines high school football across the nation. This Hall of Fame stands as the highest tribute to those who have shared the game, exceptional coaches, standout athletes, and influential contributors whose impact reaches far beyond Friday Night Lights. Their leadership, character, and commitment to their communities have left a lasting impact on the sport and all of us. As we spotlight these remarkable individuals, we recognize the long hours, the sacrifice, and the relentless drive behind their success. Their journeys remind us that excellence isn't a destination, it's a daily pursuit fueled by resilience and purpose. We also extend our gratitude to the families, mentors, educators, and supporters who helped guide these honorees along the way. And of course, we acknowledge Lamont Robinson, our board of directors, the city of Brook Park, and the Northeast Ohio community for bringing us this vision and helping us bring it to life. Today, we celebrate those who have set the standard and opened doors for generations to come. May their stories inspire us all to aim higher and to continue building a legacy of excellence in high school football. With that, it is my pleasure to bring today's Master of Ceremony, Kenny Rhoda, back to the podium.
Before we continue, Andre Smith is here with us today, and I failed to mention him earlier. My fumble, my mistake, Andre. Pick up the slack for me on that one, all right? But a Hall of Fame member, so good to see you as well. I want to give everybody an overview of the National High School Football Hall of Fame and what this has been all about. The National High School Football Hall of Fame was established to honor outstanding high school football athletes, coaches, and contributors from across the entire United States. The first induction ceremony was held in Canton, Ohio in 2023, leveraging the region's deep football tradition and proximity to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Over 3 years of the ceremonies in Canton from 23 to 25, the Hall of Fame recognized more than 100 individuals. In 2025, the organization announced that it will relocate its national headquarters right here, state-of-the-art facility in Brook Park, Ohio. The move is slated to make the Hall of Fame a centerpiece of Brook Park's evolving sports heritage infrastructure. Some of the notable players that are already in the National High School Football Hall of Fame, you're probably going to recognize these names. I'll read a few for you. Jim Brown, greatest running back arguably in football history. Paul Brown, an unbelievable innovator as a coach. Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner, the only two-time Heisman Trophy winner. Chris Spielman from Massillon, Ohio, was on a box of Wheaties back in the day, and now he's a member of the National High School Football Hall of Fame, deservedly so. Marion Motley is in the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Bernie Kosar, you heard David talking about him. Bernie, again, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Bernie is a member. Marcus Dupree, one of the greatest high school football running backs of all time, is in the Hall of Fame. Kevin Mack, former Cleveland Brown, he's in the Hall of Fame with us. Peyton Manning and the entire Manning family, Archie, Peyton, Eli, they're all members. And how about Chuck Kyle? 11 state championships in the state of Ohio at St. Ignatius. He's a member of the National High School Football Hall of Fame. So those previous 3 years, a lot of big names, and those are just some of them that were inducted. Now, the Hall of Fame's overall mission is to preserve and celebrate the legacy of high school football across America, to honor the achievements of outstanding players, coaches, and contributors, to educate fans and future generations about the sport's history and to build a national hub where the culture and community impact of high school football can be celebrated and sustained. Time now, though, to announce the class of 2026 for the National High School Football Hall of Fame, and they will officially be inducted right here in Brook Park on July 11th of 2026. Brian Bosworth, linebacker from MacArthur High School, is a member, or will be, I should say, a member of the class of 2026 in the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Henry Butler from University School. Channing Crowder and Randy Crowder. Channing from North Springs High School. Randy from Farrell High School. Father-son, they join the Mannings as the father-son combination in the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Tony Dorsett from Hopewell High School. Charles Fullis from Worcester High School. Lou Groza from Martins Ferry High School. You see right here, John Heisman, yes, that Heisman. John Heisman from Titusville High School. Jim Kelly from East Brady High School. Vince Morrow from Cardinal Mooney High School. Terrence Metcalf from Clarksdale High School. Ozzie Newsom from Colbert County High School. Drew Pearson from South River High School. Greg Pruitt, and we'll hear from Greg coming up here in a little bit, from BC Elmore High School. Also, from a media perspective, contributing Sports Stars of Tomorrow, Andrew Stockey as a media member and player from Simsbury High School. Lee Tressel at Mentor and Massillon High School as a head coach. Joe Vadini, head coach at Brecksville High School. And Vince Young from Madison High School. That is the fourth class, the class of 2026 that will be inducted on July 11th here in Brook Park to the National High School Football Hall of Fame. How about a nice round of applause for the members? All right, we've got some speakers that we're going to bring up, some guests, some inductees, and I'll start things off with Greg Pruitt, a new member of the National High School Football Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2026. Greg, come on up, say a few words, and congratulations. Well deserved, my friend.
I didn't know I was going to be speaking today, but I want to say in behalf of the other guys that are already in and the guys that are going in at this class that it's something that you, when you start out playing, you never dreamed that would happen. But we all played to be recognized. We all played to be great. So one day playing championship games. And this kind of thing is hopeful for the kids that come behind us. That's what's most important. In order to keep kids off the street, you got to make choices, good and bad. And these are good examples of good choices and what they bring to you when you make great choices. So, you know, sports saved my life. It changed my life also. And so it's my job to, because I made a promise back when I didn't think that I would become this good, that if I made it, I would be a good guy. And if I made it, I would help the guys that came behind me. So this is for the guys that come behind me. You never know what's going to happen. You just got to make the effort, do the right thing. It may take a long time, but it will happen. So again, on behalf of all this class and the classes before, thank you.
Is Henry Butler here? You are here, Henry. Good to see you. Come on up. Congratulations, and let's hear a few words from Henry Butler from University School, another member of the 2026 class for the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Henry Butler.
Congratulations, man. Good to see you. Good morning. I'm humbled to the nth degree because football was my life. I mean, when I was 4, the first outdoor toy my mother bought me was a red, white, and blue football from Sears and Roebuck. I played with that football every day till I was probably 14, every day. I played running back, I played safety, I never left the field but I was a better running back. And the blessing from God is, for all of what I put into it, I got more out of it. I got my values, I got my lifetime friendships, I've got integrity. All of these things are elements of the football platform, and it's been very, very good to me. There were certain running backs that I kind of tried to emulate, and the blessing is, Greg Pruitt was one of them. Dewitt Pruitt was one of them. And Tony Dorsett was the other. And to be able to go into the class of 26 with those guys who helped shape how I looked at the game, thanks, Pruitt, I can only just be humbled and say thank you. Thanks, Lamont. Thanks, Russell, and the team for the National High School Football Hall of Fame. This is very important to the youth, too, because it's a development platform. I grew up in the neighborhood, but as you know, if you know anything about university school, very high academic school, so I had the benefit of both. But what grounded me and what provided the connectivity was sports. And so I'm just humbled to be here. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Again, congratulations to both Greg and Henry. Look forward to seeing you guys back here in Brook Park in July of 2026. All right, at this time, if any of the media members have any questions or would like to have, Greg or Henry come back up here, answer a few questions, you want to shoot, some video on that, you're more than welcome to. So just let me know who you'd like to come up here, and we'll bring them up here, and feel free to fire away with questions. So media members, anybody in particular you'd like, any of our speakers, the mayor, whoever it is, let us know. I want to ask a couple of questions, both Greg and Henry, so if both you guys could get up here. Henry, come on back up here. Use that 4.4 speed of yours. Greg, 4.3 speed, I think, right? Be a great foot race between you two, but I've got some questions for you guys. All right, for both of you guys, we always hear Friday Night Lights, right? High school football. It's one of my passions. I work at WHBC Radio in Canton, Ohio. We do about 50 high school football games a year. That's how big football is in the state of Ohio, specifically Stark County, right? And there's just something about high school football on Friday night. So I'd like each of you to share maybe a memory from high school that sticks with you after all these years of all that you both have accomplished. What sticks out about Friday Night Lights and when you guys played high school football?
Well, for me, size has always been an issue with me. I never passed the eye test. And it started with my mom. My mom, she was afraid if I got hurt, we didn't have the money to take care of the medical bills. So she said no. So I snuck out anyway, and I made the team. But my mom is a beautician, so you can't get nothing past her because all the women talk in the neighborhood. So when she found out, we joked about this later on, but I told her a lie. I said, Mom, listen, I know we don't have the insurance, and I know I'm not planning on getting hurt, but I thought about it. I said, I play quarterback. I know you don't know what that is. I say, so let me tell you, it's like this. 11 guys against 11 guys. On offense, 10 guys' job is to protect that one guy, the quarterback. And that's the position that I play. So she said, okay. So many years later, she told me, she said, Greg, I knew you was lying, but I want you to know this. I knew you couldn't be two places at one time. And so if you was on the football field, at least I knew where you were. The other places, I didn't. So that's my biggest memory. And the first game my mom came to, everybody was telling her, hey, you need to go see him, he's pretty good. First game my mom came to the game, I cracked the rib. And I'm laying on the field and I'm in all kind of pain. And I look up and I see my mom. She done jumped the fence, ran out on the field. And the biggest thing I had to deal with after that was the teasing. If you hit Pruitt hard, look for his mom. So that's one of my biggest memories.
So I just want to speak to a delicate balance in sports and athletes, but particularly football. You have to have a level of confidence that borders on arrogance. And so if you don't, you either gonna get hurt or you're not gonna play. And I just remember playing against a school, Chanel High School. They had a running back. This dude was all-state. He was Melvin Ware. I'll never forget it. 200 yards a game, 4 touchdowns. I'm playing safety. They send the tight end that way. I go with the tight end. They give him a pitch. He's on his way. 70-yard run, right? When I turned, and I had to make up the pursuit angle and all of that, I couldn't catch him. He didn't run away from me, but I couldn't catch him. And so I ran behind him about 30 yards, trying to make the tackle. He went over the goal line. He dropped the ball in front of me. And he said, "Where were you at?" 33. Now, I was just a sophomore, and I was just learning how to run the football. Here's what I said, though. I didn't say, "Melvin, that was a great run. You do that to everybody." I said, "That was pretty cool." I said, "But now you got to kick off. And where do you get a load of me?" And that's what I told him. Went back to the huddle, told my coach, "I need the ball." And he fed me the ball. And I had one of the best games I ever had in my life because of that experience. After that, my confidence went up because I wasn't big either. Yeah. Very quick, wasn't that big. So I wasn't a show-type football player either, just seeing me in the press, announcement or on the field. But you had to account for me. And that's what I want the young people to know when we talk to the youth in these high schools. When you lace them up, offense, defense, special teams, make them account for you. And that's what I learned from that experience. I never forget it. That's my experience.
That's awesome. And you notice the confidence, right? In these guys, the look in their eye. All these guys have that look, man.
A lot of people call it being conceited.
Yeah.
We call it being convinced on ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
Any other questions from our media members here? All right, gentlemen, go ahead. Have a seat. Thank you again. Congratulations to the members of the 2026 class. Hey, Mayor Orcutt, can you come out? I've got a question for you, if you don't mind, since you're still here. We'll talk more about what's happening here in Brook Park with this, because I can't wait. I'm excited about this and the new Brown Stadium and everything like that. For you, what was it that made you say, we want to bring the National High School Football Hall of Fame here to Brook Park?
Brook Park is becoming a destination, if you haven't heard. We are building something that's so special here. We want visitors. We want people to travel here to this great state. When you think football, you think Ohio. I mean, our number one team right now is Ohio State. We continue to keep working hard as a community and as a state to grow. And when it came down to the National High School Football Hall of Fame, I sat down and talked with them when we were competing, and I said, "Listen, this is your home. This is where you need to be. Football is Ohio. We're building the very first dome stadium in Ohio, and this is something that you need to be here." We want to attract people to this area, and we want to give them something to do. They may be here for 2, 3, 4 days. They're going to visit downtown. They're going to visit the wonderful stuff. But we want them to be visiting something that we have local here in Brook Park as they stay in our new mixed-use area that we're building as well, right next to the Dome Stadium.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. Good to see you again.
Yep, thank you very much.
Any other questions for the mayor while we have him up here? It's your chance. Everything and anything. Don't be bashful. Don't be shy. No? All right, Mayor, thank you so much. Lamont, you didn't know I was going to do this, but get up here. Come on, Lamont. Get on up here, because without this guy, this wouldn't happen, right? We wouldn't have the National High School Football Hall of Fame. And I can tell you this, when it first came about, everybody was asking me, "You think this is going to stick? You think this is going to take off?" I said, "Yeah, it's high school football in Ohio." So, Lamont, I'm curious. I asked the mayor why he wanted the National High School Football Hall of Fame here in Brook Park. Where did this vision come from? Where did this idea come from? And here we are 4 years later, growing and becoming bigger and better than ever because of that vision you had. Where did it come from?
Well, the vision came from, the state of Ohio, which is a rich in football history. Football was birthed in Canton, Ohio, but high school football lives in the state of Ohio. And You know, we had 3 exciting good years in Canton, and it's just time to move on. You know, great people down there, and we inducted over 100 world-class football legends. But up here in Brook Park, you know, this is a new destination. It's a great city. The Cleveland Browns are moving here. You know, me and the mayor talked for about 4 months, and we decided, hey, this would be the place. And I'm just so thankful and happy that the support that we've gotten from the media, from everybody around the state of Ohio. We hear from people all over the world, the football players. This is just a great example of what could be. You know, they got the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, and of course the Pro Football Hall of Fame down there in Canton. They do a great job. So we needed the National High School Football Hall of Fame to answer your question. It wasn't one. So I came up with the concept, trademarked it, and here we are 4 years later, you know, and some of the greatest of the great, you know, have wore these red jackets, and we want to make the opportunity for, you know, youngsters to kind of see what's going on, and you can achieve your goal. I remember watching Mr. Pruitt when I was a kid, 9th grade. You know, we wanted to tear away jerseys, you know, and you know, he comes from a great line of running backs, Jim Brown, you know, himself, and then we got Ozzie Newsome coming in, and it's just great. So, you know, I thank you, you know, being one of the greatest MCs around the country. Let's give him a big hand. And I would like to give the mayor another big hand. I mean, he's wearing so many hats. You know, whenever I text him, he gets right back to me. I've never met a guy that's wearing so many hats, and he feeds everybody. He takes care of everybody. I don't know how he does it. I don't even know when he sleeps. I could text him at 11 o'clock, he texts me right back. So he's been great, and if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even be here. And some of the great things, we have some other things that we're going to be mentioned, but you know, not at this moment, but we're still laying out some great things. And I want to give my right-hand man, Russell Johnson, a big hand for been with me 18 years, you know. Old David Brown been there, you know, you see me, you can see David. So, you know, Django and RJ and yourself. So I appreciate everybody coming out this morning. And July 11th is free admission. So first come, first serve, and we're gonna have a great time.
Sounds great. Thank you. How about that? Nice round of applause. He didn't know I was going to do that, but like I said, without him, none of us would be here, and none of this would be happening. So we want to thank everybody for coming out here today. You'll have an opportunity now, if you didn't want to ask publicly, you want to grab some of our guests here privately and do a little one-on-one with them, you'll have that opportunity. And also for those watching on the Hall of Fame Network, we've got about a 12-minute video that's going to be played on the network, and you all can go back and watch this as well. Some of the other class members of 2026, like Brian Bosworth and Jim Kelly, you know, send videos to us saying how important this is to them and what it means to them. So you'll be able to watch that on the Hall of Fame Network. And then we hope to see you all back here July 11th of 2026 when we induct the 4th class into the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Thanks for coming out this morning.
I'm Andrew Stonkey, the news anchor and sports director here at WTAE-TV in Pittsburgh. I'm both honored and humbled to be selected for induction into the National High School Football Hall of Fame class of 2026. Now, being nominated was an honor in itself. I know I'm not going in for my athletic ability on the football field. I was blessed to be part of some very good teams at Simsbury High School in Simsbury, Connecticut. Now, we always competed, but we never won a title. I look at my fellow inductees and I realize my achievements pale in comparison on the field. It was a pleasure that I had enjoyed off the field that brings me to this moment, bringing the viewers of this historic region of Western Pennsylvania high school football action every Friday night for 30 years and counting. Operation Football tells the stories of the teams, the players, and the passion of Western Pennsylvania football. It's home to such legends as Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Tony Dorsett, and Aaron Donald. It's been my pleasure and the team here at WTAE-TV to tell the stories of these student athletes every Friday night during the fall. Of all the things I do and all the sports I get to cover here in Pittsburgh, it is high school football that gives me the greatest satisfaction. And to be recognized for that contribution by the National High School Football Hall of Fame is truly one of the highlights of my career. I want to thank the committee for this moment and I do look forward to joining my fellow inductees next summer.
Greetings from Titusville, Pennsylvania, the high school home of John Heisman, Titusville High School class of 1887. My name's Tamara Sabatini. I'm the Executive Director for the Titusville Alumni Association.
And I'm Chris Feely, Alumni Board Vice President. And not only is it the hometown of John Heisman, but also the birthplace of the oil industry. And that's why John and his family lived in Titusville. His dad was a barrel cooper, and they moved from Cleveland when John was a small boy, and he actually lived just about a block and a half away from this very spot. And his dad owned, his shop was right across the street from the house, and so when his dad was at the shop, John would actually come to this field right behind the shop, and he would actually play football, learn how to play the game. And well, in high school, his dad would never watch him play the game because his dad thought it was barbaric. John was known as a theater person, and he ended up being an attorney by trade. So we're very glad that he invented the forward pass, the center snap, and broke the scoreboard into quarters.
So we're very excited that you have chosen to induct John William Heisman from our class of 1887 into the National High School Football Hall of Fame.
Hello everyone, this is Drew Pearson, former Dallas Cowboy, former Tulsa University Golden Hurricane, and former member of the South River Rams of South River High School right there in South River, New Jersey. And I want to thank the Board of Governors for selecting me for induction into the National High School Football Hall of Fame. I'm so excited. I feel so privileged for this honor. I look forward to meeting and joining the rest of the group on July 11th right there in Brooks Park, Ohio for the red carpet induction ceremony. And, you know, it was my high school career that set the foundation for things to happen in my life after high school. And it was the high school coaches, my high school coaches, that set the necessary foundation through the necessary guidelines for me to follow to have success, not only as an individual athlete, but to lead that into team success as well. And it was that foundation is the reason I had success and was able to go on and play football at Tulsa University and then 11 years with the Dallas Cowboys. But coaches like Ron Wojcicki and Joe Bellissimo, my high school coaches. And guess what? My high school quarterback was Joe Theismann, okay? Y'all know him as Joe Theismann, but it was Joe Theismann back in South River. He was my high school quarterback. So it was that kind of leadership that I had. It was those kind of examples that I had an opportunity to follow, and I was smart enough to follow those examples that they were setting, and that set the necessary guidelines for me to follow in my life after South River High School and South River High School football. But it was South River that set that foundation. I'm forever indebted to them. So thank you for this opportunity. I'm looking forward to joining part of this prestigious class that includes my former teammate, the great Tony Dorsett, and former Dallas Cowboy, Darryl the Moose Johnson. So I'm looking forward to being part of this induction ceremony on July 11th, 2026. So thank you again, Board of Governors, for selecting me to be part of the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Hood hood!
Oh, I am so excited to be inducted into the National High School Football Hall of Fame, and I'm honored to take this prestigious award for myself, Channing Crowder, well, really Randolph Crowder II, and also accepted for my father, Randy Crowder, who's the first. Two different paths, same goal, you know, to be honored and be respected in that football community, and we just really appreciate it. First, start with Big Randy. You know, he had the easier path. He was a dog in high school, monster, one of the best players in Pennsylvania back in the late 60s, 70s. High school basketball, state champion, football, defensive player of everything, and prestigiously went to Penn State University from High School, becoming the first black captain at Penn State University, which was, a big honor for him. And I remember him talking about that a lot. And then drafted to the Dolphins, playing for the Buccaneers with great players, the Richmond Webbs and the Larry Littles and the Doug Williams. I remember talking about playing Walter Payton and different things like that. So just a great football journey. And then myself, playing in Atlanta, not as great. 4-6 was my best high school record. But I did get a chance, scholarship to University of Florida from high school, and then playing for the Dolphins for years and continuing with my career. And me and my pops, I know I'll speak for him, we're just honored to be accepted into the National High School Football Hall of Fame. We both hope we represent it well. We hope we represent our name well. We hope we represent, our families well, our lovely wives, our amazing kids, our everything else. But really, thank you so much. And, without football, I know I can speak to my dad for this. I don't know where he would be, and I don't know where I would be. But to those high school football coaches out there, keep pouring into those kids. I know Kevin Whitley was my high school football coach, and without K. Witt, who gave me the confidence to play, who gave me the more as a player, but as a man as well. For K. Witt, thank you so much. There would be no Florida, there would be no NFL, there would be nothing without high school football. So for me and my father, thank y'all so much. We appreciate it, and we're honored to be a part of this very prestigious and amazing group of men that have been honored with this honor of the National High School Football Hall of Fame.
Hi, this is Brian Bosworth, and I just was notified that I'm being inducted into the National High School Football Hall of Fame, which absolutely blows me away. I loved football. I mean, it was the absolute end-all, be-all for me. Not at the beginning, of course, because no kid at 5 wants to start playing football wearing uncomfortable pads and putting all that stuff on and putting the helmet on and then going out and either getting hit or hit, sweat in your eyes, stinging, all that stuff. But I loved it. And to be acknowledged for it is such an amazing, amazing honor. I've had a blessed career playing sports, and believe me, it has not come without being torn up, having the injuries and the body part replacements. But I'll tell you what, if I had it to do all over again, if my younger self was told, by the time you are 60, you will have 7 or 8 body part replacements, 34 surgeries, you still want to do this? Hell yeah, I do, because I loved it. It was passionate for me. And I got to hang out with my friends, and I got to exercise my God gift, which was sport and my athleticism and my competitiveness. So to be acknowledged for that on a national level, given the number of kids that follow a dream and chase a dream to get there and be good enough to be recognized and impact the number of people that I have impacted by the style in which I played and the passion in which I loved the game. And I just want to give back. It is such an honor, and I thank the National High School Football Hall of Fame for including me into this prestigious, fraternity. Thank you guys very much. I look forward to seeing you guys in Ohio very, very soon. I think it's in July of 2026. Godspeed, God bless. And again, I thank you. Boz out.
Hello, everyone. Jim Kelly, former Buffalo Bills quarterback and a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. First of all, I want to thank everybody for nominating me and then inducting me into the National High School Football Hall of Fame. I come from a little small town outside of Pittsburgh called East Brady. We're the Bulldogs. As we all say, once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog. But there are so many people I would like to thank. First of all, I want to thank my brothers. I have 5 brothers, and my mom and dad, who really were behind me from start to finish. Probably more important than anything was my high school football coach, Terry Henry. We lost him last year to a rare disease. God rest his soul. I wish he was here the day that this is going to happen. But I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart and from everybody in East Brady, Pennsylvania. This is such a great honor. I mean, dreams coming true, that's for sure. I never dreamt about making it into National Football League, let alone the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But now I am a member of the National High School Football Hall of Fame. So we know now, East Brady is now represented from start to finish. And congratulations to all the other inductees. God bless everybody. And again, thank you very much.
Kenny Rhoda with the National High School Football Hall of Fame, and we are excited to announce the 2026 candidates for this year's Marcus Dupree National High School Football Hall of Fame Player of the Year Award. Last year was the first year we handed out this award, and the inaugural winner, Tavian St. Clair, who's a quarterback right now with the Ohio State Buckeyes. We can't wait to announce this year's winner. But in order to get a winner, we've got to tell you who's up for this award. Let's take a look. Tyler Atkinson, linebacker at Grayson High School in Loganville, Georgia. He's a Texas commit. Jalen Lott, a wide receiver from Frisco Panther Creek High School in Frisco, Texas. He's an Oregon commit. Lamar Brown, a defensive lineman from University Lab High School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He is an LSU commit. Jared Curtis, a quarterback from Nashville Christian in Nashville, Tennessee. He's going to Georgia. Tristan Keys, a wide receiver from Hattiesburg High School in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. He's a Tennessee commit. We will announce this year's winner on January 10th at the Hula Bowl, along with this year's All-American team. The Player of the Year Award and the All-American team are brought to you by the Hall of Fame Academy, and you can find us on the Hall of Fame Network at hofnetwork.tv.